Hello friends, today I take up a new topic and the name of the topic is Impact of Elections in 5 States on Indian Politics. My lesson plan includes why is it in the news, impact upon Congress, impact upon regional parties, impact upon BSP, I mean Bahujan Samaj Party, impact upon BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, and conclusion. So one by one I will discuss this topic. And as you know that on 10th March, results for 5 state assemblies elections were declared, and that's why I have taken up this topic. Now, if you like my channel on Facebook and YouTube, please write down AJIS Academy Indore and you will find numerous videos relating to different competitive examinations. So let us start proceedings and I will discuss one by one under these points. Why is it in the news? Friends, as you know that on 10th March, results were declared for 5 states which underwent elections for the last 2 months, and now what you find that BJP got thumping majority in 4 states, while in Punjab Congress was decimated and Aam Aadmi Party got 92 seats out of 117 seats in Punjab Assembly. So it was a landslide victory for Aam Aadmi Party. We see that most of the stalwarts of Congress and BJP were defeated, like the incumbent Chief Minister Mr. Dhami of Uttarakhand was defeated. Again, Deputy Chief Minister of UP Keshav Prasad Maurya was also defeated. Similarly, Harish Rawat, the CM aspirant for Congress, he got defeated. Similarly, Amrinder Singh, Sidhu, and its incumbent Chief Minister of Congress Party, Charanjit Singh Channi, was defeated in the hustings. So now we see that BJP managed to form government in 4 states, and in UP it got thumping majority of 274 out of 403 seats in state assembly. And this is the first time after 37 years since 1985 that a party which ruled for 5 years again came out victorious. So you see that saffron surge, how the saffron party, I mean BJP, surged ahead from 2007 to 2022, and this graph will show that how its vote percentage increased with the passage of time. While for Samajwadi Party it was static around 20 to 22%. Now this is the first time in this election that Samajwadi Party got 32%, an increase of 10% votes. And for Bahujan Samaj Party, it was reduction of vote percent of 9% from 22% to 13%. And for Congress Party, it plummeted at the lowest level from 6.8% or 4 to 2.6%. So both Bahujan Samaj Party and Congress Party were totally decimated in this election. Impact upon Congress. Friends, as you know that Congress was badly mauled in UP and Punjab. It got only 2.3% vote, the lowest in its history, and again 1/3 representation to women has become non-starter, and it became clear that primordial loyalty like caste, region, religion, language, community or communal are more stronger and cohesive forces than women as a bloc. So you see that Congress now is confronted not only from BJP but also from other secular parties like AAP, like TMC. So if Congress doesn't improve its position, there is a likelihood of Congress being replaced by other secular parties. You see this chart, and by this chart I want to show that how Congress started declining. In 2014 it had 9 CM, and now at the present time it has only got 2 CMs. Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh are being governed by Congress, and 2 states, I mean Maharashtra and Jharkhand states are governed under coalition. So it is at the worst phase of its history, and so it is necessary for Congress to improve its organizational strength, its ideology. It must embark upon a clear-cut ideology, clear-cut leader, and a strong organization to fight out election, because it is pitted against a party, I mean BJP, which is always on election mode. So it will have to leave aside the past mistakes, and it must rejuvenate or reinvigorate itself to compete with national parties like BJP and other regional parties. Now I switch over to another point. This is impact upon regional parties. How this election in 5 states unfolded for regional parties in India. Friends, as you know that with the decline of Congress, secular parties like Trinamool Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, YSR Congress, which is ruling at present in Andhra Pradesh, TRS, Telangana Rashtra Samiti, Samajwadi Party, RJD, Rashtriya Janata Dal of Lalu Yadav, Nationalist Congress Party of Sharad Pawar will prepare themselves as a strong alternative to BJP at national level. Since AAP will have 2 states like Delhi and Punjab, it will influence the mental psyche of the people of northern India, and it will be more effective or cohesive force in northern India than TMC under Mamata Banerjee. So AAP has got 6% vote and 2 seats in Goa. So what you see that it is going to become a national party in near future. Now, what will be the impact upon Bahujan Samaj Party? Friends, as you know that only one MLA could win for BSP in this election. The traditional Jata voters voted for BSP, and we know that there are 22% votes or population in UP for Dalits. Out of 22%, around half of the Dalits constitute Jata caste. So the caste which Mayawati comes from. So you see that traditional voter, I mean Jata, voted for Mayawati. They did not leave Mayawati, but other caste switched over to BJP. Now the votes percent of BSP Bahujan Samaj Party reduced from 22% to 12 or 13%. Now Mayawati has been the Chief Minister of UP for 4 times. Now she has been reduced to a marginal force in UP and consequently in India. Why it happened? Friends, as you know that different welfare measures adopted by BJP government like Ujjwala Yojana, like Ayushman Yojana, where people of below poverty line can get free treatment up to 5 lakhs rupees, where they are getting houses, where they are getting 6,000 annually by direct transfer. So all these important welfare measures, and now during the corona period we see that government issued or gave free rice, wheat to people. So all these welfare measures adopted by BJP and other parties let Dalits switch over to those parties. It means that now this election also indicate that welfare measures cut across caste lines, and particularly it hit the bottom 50% of the population. So what you see that Dalits, which used to be the vote bank of Bahujan Samaj Party, now majority of them switched over to the government in power, which gave them benefits by different welfare measures. Now this is the chart which will show you that BSP's strike rate in UP Assembly election, and what you find that in 1989 when BJP started winning election, the strike rate was 3.49%. In 1991 it was 3.11%. In 1993 it was 41.21%, and 1996, 2002, and in 2007 when Mayawati formed government on its own without the support of any other party, and the strike rate was 51.12%, and this became possible by an effective social engineering whereby Brahmins were brought in the fold of Bahujan Samaj Party in UP. And so you see that after 2007 we see that there is a declining trend for Bahujan Samaj Party, and 2012 what you find that Samajwadi Party formed government in UP, and so the strike rate came down to 19.85. Thereafter in 2017 again its strike rate came down to 4.71%, and in 2002 what you see that its strike rate plummeted to the point of negligible like 0.25%. Friends, as you know that what is a strike rate? It means that the total candidates of a political party, out of which how many candidates won the election. So what we see that the formula will be the candidate who won election by the total candidates of a single political party multiplied by 100. So this is the formula, and by this formula we get the strike rate in percent. So what you see that the strike rate of Bahujan Samaj Party plummeted to 0.25%. This is just negligible. By this chart what you find that now Bahujan Samaj Party has become a redundant force in UP, and so is the case for Congress Party. Why it happened? Because Muslims and other Dalits left Bahujan Samaj Party. Similarly, Muslims which voted for Congress party in pockets, they also left Congress because they believed that Congress was not in the position to form government, and that's why what you find that Muslims voted in mass to Samajwadi Party. But since forward caste did not like Samajwadi Party because of its aggressiveness in earlier rule, so for want of alternatives, most of the forward caste voted to BJP. Those who were envied with BJP party, they had no choice, and so they voted for BJP, with the result that there was an increase of 2% votes for BJP in this election. And that's why we find that BJP got 274 seats in spite of the anti-incumbency. Now, impact upon BJP. What will be its impact? Now, friends, with 4 states under its belt, BJP has become a dominant political force in northern India. Why I am telling you that BJP is the only party which won UP in spite of anti-incumbency, and so since 1985 no party could regain power in UP. And what does this indicate? It indicates that BJP has become a dominant political party in northern India. Number one, it seems that BJP will continue to grab power in 2024 general election. Number three, BJP will easily now cross the majority mark in Rajya Sabha, and now it will be very much easier for this party to bring amendment into the constitution, because everybody knows that for amendment of the constitution it is necessary that the resolution should be passed in either house of parliament by a special majority. It means 2/3 of the majority of the house and plus the absolute majority of the house present and voting. So friends, what you see that with this election result, what you find that BJP will now cross the majority mark in Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha it has already brute majority. So what you find that BJP will be able to install its nominee as the next President of India, and the election for the President of India is to be scheduled in July this year. Now friends, this is the chart that will show you that BJP's share of Lok Sabha seats this is the 2019 and this is 2022. The pink color is indicate 2022 this year, and 2019 the green color. And what you find that the BJP share in Lok Sabha seats. Now conclusion. What conclusion we derived from this lecture, this video? Number one, Congress is now at the lowest eve. Number two, it doesn't have winnability index. Why I am telling you? I will discuss about it. Friends, as you know that a party wins on the basis of 3 factors. Number one, its ideology. Number two, its strong organization. And number three, its dynamic leader, or a leader who represents masses. So what you find that on these counts, Congress is at lowest level. Why I am telling you? Congress doesn't explain what should be its ideology. Number one. Number two, its organization is getting weak with the passage of time. By its alliance with the Rashtriya Janata Dal or regional parties, or even earlier with the Samajwadi Party or Bahujan Samaj Party, it has become very weak. Its cadre shifted to regional parties. So friends, what you see? Now it has no dynamic leader. Gandhi family have lost to get votes, to fetch votes from people. So what you see that the charisma and the aura that Gandhi family had, it is now lost. So Gandhi family is not in the position to garner votes for Congress party. This is self-evident from the result of UP election. Friends, as you know that if you divide in different zones of UP, what you find? There is one zone, it is central zone, and that is called Awadh region around Lucknow. And now what you find that even in Awadh region, where the Congress happened to be very much a strong force, now it has completely declined. Now BJP is to stay as a dominant political force for the next 20 years in Indian politics. It has got a clear-cut ideology, an effective organization, or an effective leadership. Regional party under the leadership of Aam Aadmi Party will regroup to challenge BJP in near future. Again, so instead of two national parties, now there will be there will be three groupings. At national level, BJP as a dominant national party, second regional party headed by Aam Aadmi Party, and Congress as a poor third. So this is my conclusion. Friends, I hope that this lecture might have illuminated you. If you like my video or lecture, please share and subscribe AJIS Academy Indore on YouTube and my Facebook page. Thank you very much.